basically the term they use. So our enemies had a real interest in sinking those ships. And as a result, the U.S. Merchant Marines, had a higher casualty rate during World War II than any other branch of the service. There wasn't nearly as many of them, but your chances of getting killed in World War II were better if you were in the Merchant Marine than even the United States Marine Corps.
And they have one of the ships, don't they still have one of those ships?
I lived on that ship for about 2 years. The reason I feel entitled to wear this is I was in the Merchant Marine for a couple of years myself. Otherwise, I don't think I'd be wearing this. But and it's usually a peacetime civilian gig. But of course, during World War II, they were right in the line of fire. In order to protect the ships as they crossed the ocean from Japanese submarines or from the Wolf Pack, the Nazi U-boats, they would travel in convoys. And during the early years of the Battle of the Atlantic, when we were sending our ships from the East Coast to London to keep England from falling, your chances of the ship that you were on being sunk were 1 in 4. Only 1 in 4 ships made the crossing across the Atlantic. Have you seen the film Greyhound with Tom Hanks? Came out a couple of years ago. That's exactly what that's about. Now on the Murmansk run, which we had to supply the Russians in Murmansk, which a large part of that convoy action was in the Arctic Ocean, the odds were flipped. 3 out of 4 ships were sunk by the Germans in the Arctic. And when you go into the Arctic Ocean, you don't live more than about 5 minutes. So that's why a lot of merchant marines died. No ship ever left, despite these risks, despite the chances you were taking, no ship ever left New York Harbor late because they couldn't find crew. There was always plenty of men that were willing to volunteer for this. So anyway, that's enough.
Okay, did you say in the film about the guys that came up on Iwo Jima and thought that was...
No. No.
Can you do that?
Well, let's do that. That's a later part of the war.
No, but again, he's taping now. He's not going to tape when he starts showing the movie.
It really doesn't have anything to do with Merchant Marine or anything, but when the Japanese were at the actually first part of the war, were occupying Guadalcanal, which is where our first battles in the Pacific were, they had told the Japanese soldiers that rather than Guadalcanal, it was Catalina Island they were attacking.
That's funny.
I think that's a phenomenal story. So right at that moment, they knew that the Japanese had something in mind, obviously, because they were saying, aren't we on Catalina Island? Why would you want to come on Catalina Island? Well, we're supposed to be there because we're... So I wanted to get that.
Well, and as you're going to see at the very beginning here, it starts just before the war. Lolo Saldana, our barber, I don't know, not everybody knows you.
Well, yeah, but he's our barber. He's over there now.
He talks about
95 in July.
He's 95, so he was here when all that was going on. He has a very interesting, chilling story from August of 1941 when he was a caddy up at the golf course.
Is he going to tell the story?
Pardon me?
Is he going to tell the story here?
Yeah.
Okay, why don't we just do that then?
Oh, okay. Thanks, Chuck.
I was psyched. I was psyched to hear it. I was psyched to hear it.
No, the point is, we're going to see it on the tape.
Okay.
But my point is, I know you only have a certain amount.
Would you like me to tell it for the...
Yes.
Okay. Lolo and his friend Conrad were up caddying one day, and all of a sudden, some golfers came along they were all Japanese. They were dressed in black suits and ties, and they went out to play golf up here. And so Conrad and Lolo got the job of being their caddies, right? Well, these guys didn't seem to know anything about playing golf. They didn't seem to be interested in playing golf at all. And all they were doing was just talking to each other, taking pictures of the mountains, the hills around Avalon. And then they would finish talking, and they would knock the ball into the hole, and they would move on to the next hole, and then they'd start talking again, pointing to the mountaintops and taking pictures. And Lolo didn't put it together until years later. It might have been after the war.
About the time the war came, because they were asking questions like, "Where's your power plant?" He thought these were strange questions, but I mean, why not ask? We have a power plant. Where's your hospital?
I don't remember him saying that part.
Well, okay,
I'm not even sure they spoke English.
He may not have said it here.
You've heard him say that?
He told me when I told you that Lolo had the story. So anyway, Lolo said they were asking strange questions, or indicating, where are things?
In other words, not what is the par for this hole?
Yeah, right. So
okay,
all right.
So anyway, we start with that literally before World War II. We might have a little viewing issue here.